Hello and welcome to another update video about Rune. Rune has performed really well in the last few days and weeks. So since it reached the target area here between the 88.7 and the 78.6% fib level, it has it started to move up quite interestingly. So we obviously, if we count it like that, like the other cryptos as well, then what we had here as an ABC, let me just do that. Obviously you had your first impulsive wave to the upside, that was that wave 1, and then you started with an A, B, C. Now that wave C did get down to the low of the wave A at the 88.7% fib level, and therefore I told you in the last video, even though we didn't really make a significantly lower low, but it did come down at least to that level, so it did do at least what it needed to do to complete the correction. I told you in the last video that Rune did the minimum it needs to do to complete the correction, and that we now need to see a first impulsive wave to the upside. So again, these target areas, they are not there for fun. I told you in the last video that typically whenever a crypto is reaching or has reached the target area, it has done the minimum, or it is doing the minimum that it needs to do to complete the correction, which doesn't mean it has completed the correction. But as soon as you are in this target area, everybody needs to answer the question for themselves. Do I want to go in, or do I chase the lowest point? I'm personally not a friend of chasing the lowest low, because it might never come. Yeah, it might already have happened. So anywhere in these target areas for me, it's buying time, right? I'm not invested, or I am invested in Rune, but I haven't bought again here. You can't buy them all. But yeah, Rune broke out of a descending wedge. It retested then the 20-day moving average. It is now even above the 200-day moving average. So in the last video we talked about the fib levels here. So then I showed you that the minimum, should this be already a first impulse, and you had your wave 1, 2, so that this was the wave 3, then the minimum target for a wave 3 is 798. That was the absolute minimum, and we have now reached the 200%. What you should now get is a wave 4 down, ideally. Yeah, and ideally what I would love to see, and that would be really good, I would love to see a retest of the 200-day moving average and then get that wave 5. After which you would get another ABC, and that would be another buying opportunity, because you should come down quite low again, maybe retest that target area here. But yeah, Rune is doing really well. Above the 200-day moving average is good, and even better, above the 61.8% fib level at 880. Not aware of any other crypto. I mean, there might be some, but not out of my head, that have already broken above the 61.8% fib level, and also above the 200-day moving average after they were below it. I think cryptos like Sand, they have constantly held above them, above this 200-day moving average. And yeah, you can see how it's moving higher, and how it is currently retesting the 61.8% fib level as support. Now that is important. Either this one or the 200-day moving average should be retested ideally. Even better would be the 61.8, and if that gets retested, then it can move all the way up to 1137. That would then be the next target, possibly here in the next wave up, after which you would get an ABC. What we need to understand is that on the 4-hour chart, Rune is overbought, but again, the market can hold these high levels for a while. You can see that we are currently building buying momentum on the 4-hour chart again, which is positive on the MACD. The MACD is crossing bullish on the 4-hour, on the 8-hour as well, indicating higher prices. And on the daily, we have not seen a reduction in the buying momentum. As soon as you see this drop off and the RSI also drop off, it might be time to, it will probably come down a little bit or move sideways. But the key is here that it maintains this uptrend, and it's looking good. It's looking better than many other cryptos at the moment. What we need to see if this is going to become a 5-wave move, because as I always say, just because a crypto has done the minimum it needs to do to complete the correction, it doesn't necessarily mean it has completed the correction already. And short-term price increases are always possible, but personally, if you see this now continue to the upside, I think we can be much more confident that the low was already in. And then, for example, what could happen, depending on Bitcoin, should Bitcoin have another sell-off, Rune could, for example, make a higher low, and then it would already have its low in, just come down again, but making a higher low, and then when Bitcoin recovers, move even higher. So currently looking good, but also what you need to understand now that Rune is probably not able to to decouple itself completely from the remaining crypto market. And if Bitcoin still has its correction to do, we are coming down still lower at one point. Yeah, and I strongly believe that Bitcoin hasn't completed its correction. But as you are fully aware, if you've been watching my Bitcoin videos, Bitcoin can also in the alternative break to the upside first before it comes down into my target area. And then Rune could, for example, move much higher as well. From my point of view, sustainable new all-time highs are possible only as soon as Rune really breaks that 1761. Until then, it could just be a little bit more of a complex correction. But of course, money can be made here. Yeah, we are now in an uptrend. We're above the 20-day moving average. A warning sign would be for me if we break below the 200-day moving average again, or the 20-day moving average. That would at least cut out the immediate uptrend. And so far, Rune is not looking too bad. Rune is actually looking good. But again, we need to understand it's now overbought on the daily as well. So buying in now, I personally wouldn't do it. I would probably wait for the next dip. Yeah, that will surely come. Nothing goes up in a straight line, even though it really performs well at the moment. Again, this target area again was a good time to buy. A lot of other cryptos are still in this target area, and they will also recover at some point here. And a lot of cryptos have also broken out already of such a descending wedge. And all it needs is maybe a little bit of a catalyst, and they can start moving as well. Now that's my view here on Rune. Hopefully that was helpful. If you like the update, then please hit the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.